I'm very happy to welcome you all to Astroved's first webinar on Vedic teachings for sustaining finances. So, during this time of need, we thought that it would be beneficial if we bring Vedic experts to share with you the teachings and tips from the timeless ancient book of wisdom, the Vedas and the scriptures. So, today we have Vedic expert and Vedic astrology expert with us in this webinar. So let's see who are they. First, we have our Vedic astrology expert, Vijay Lakshmi, with us. And hopefully she doesn't need any introductions, as you all know her and you would have taken consultations with her. And then we have Astroved advisor, Sanskrit scholar, and an author, Dr. Tyagarajan, with us. So they both are going to share their valuable insights and their expertise on respective areas, and they are going to help us understand the Vedic teachings for sustaining finances. So what are we going to learn in this webinar? From Vijay Lakshmi, you're going to learn Vedic astrological reasons behind the current global situation. So how it will impact on personal level, the various wealth indicators in Vedic astrology. And finally, she will also be sharing her experience in consulting and counseling with Astroved's members during this time of need. So these are the aspects which Vijay Lakshmi will be covering from Vedic astrology perspective. And from Vedic and scriptural perspective, from Vedic scholar Dr. Tyagarajan, you will be learning about the scriptural teachings on the ways and means to create and accumulate wealth, and scriptural recommended practices to sustain wealth. He will also be explaining the scientific reason behind the Vedic rituals. And finally, he will also explain the powers of chanting the mantras. So, and don't forget, at the end of the respective sessions, they will answer questions. Yes. So you can post us your questions, and at the end of your respective sessions, that is the first session will be given to Vijay Lakshmi, and after her session, she'll be taking questions from you, and then she'll be answering it. And then we'll go on to Dr. Tyagarajan, and then he will also be answering your questions. So towards the end of the webinar, you will be getting beautiful insights, and finally you will have the very beautiful mantra from Dr. Tyagarajan, which you can practice on a daily basis. And then you will also have the daily practices which will help you boost wealth and accumulate wealth from Vijay Lakshmi. So this is a basic introduction about it, and let's start now. So we'll move on to Vijay Lakshmi first, and she'll be covering the Vedic astrological reasons behind the current global scenario and how it will impact you on a personal basis, and the various indicators of wealth in Vedic astrology. And finally, she will also cover her personal experiences in guiding and the counseling members of Astroved. So now let's start with Vijay Lakshmi. Namaste, Vijay Lakshmi.
Namaste. I owe my knowledge and gratitude to my gurus, my pranams to gurus, my parents and planets. Yes, as per my observation, whenever the Saturn transits to the sign Capricorn, he makes a historical moment. You know, even in the past, when you look at the Saturn transit happened, he has created a lot of historic moments. Now also, in the current scenario, Saturn is in the sign Capricorn. Now he is along with Jupiter and Mars. The conjunction of Mars and Saturn is not a welcoming combination as per Vedic astrology. You know, moreover, Jupiter, the benevolent Jupiter, is in Adivegasharam. Adivegasharam means he moves faster than his usual movement. This is also not appreciated in Vedic astrology, especially in this moment. He is touching his debilitated sign, the sign Capricorn. So Jupiter, termed as Dhanakaraka, his movement is fast. No, he's usually he is regular. He's not in a regular movement. He's moving in Adivegasharam. That is creating a lot of confusions and economical crisis now. Anyway, it is a temporary setback. No, I mean, it's a temporary setback, and he is also going to stay there for a temporary period only. So on June 30th, he's moving back to Sagittarius from Capricorn. So this will help to handle the crisis to some extent. And moreover, this Tamil New Year, Vedic New Year, Mercury has become the king. He has become the king. Last year it was Saturn, and this year Mercury has become the king. That itself is a little positive thing for us. So Mercury being a planet for commerce and trade, he will not let the finance go down too much. And moreover, in the last period of this year, 2020, there are two transits happening. Rahu is moving from Gemini to Taurus, and Ketu is moving from Sagittarius to Scorpio. And in November, Jupiter will also be moving to the sign Capricorn permanently. So these transits seems to be really helpful for straightening the economic crisis or the scenario which will come under control. However, but we have to wait until this September when the Rahu transits to the sign Taurus, which is his exalted sign. No, Taurus is his exalted sign, and he is moving there. And even though Jupiter is moving to the sign Capricorn, which is a weak sign for him, he gets debilitated there. But still, he is joining Saturn, which makes him strong. So these will definitely help the economic to bounce back to normal or even much more. That is what is my seeing or predictions for the economic current crisis now. So, and all the people will be anxious to know about the wealth houses in astrology. The second house and Taurus, and as per my thing, Taurus is also very important because second house deals with finance, accumulation of money, your attitude towards money, how industrious you are towards earning money, the ability to accumulate money in the right manner, and all possessions, movable and immovable assets. These are indicated from the second house. The second house also other significations also, which is family, friends, immediate social circle, and we call it as Vaksthanam. Vaksthanam means words, the speech, the words which we speak, and the food we eat. That also comes under the second house. So why Taurus is important? Because Taurus, along with the birth chart, Taurus, the natural zodiac also plays a very important role. Sign Taurus is the second house of the natural zodiac. It plays a very important role in bestowing wealth. Why Taurus? Because all the signs have been assigned at many attributes. All the signs have been assigned many attributes. Among them, among the four elements, fire, earth, water. Taurus, earth element has been assigned to Taurus. Earth element has been assigned to Taurus, and earth, only among the four elements, only the earth has the capacity to give back whatever we put inside the earth. No, whatever even if you throw a rubbish, it give back us as a resource. Of course, there are other two signs, earthy elements, Virgo and Capricorn, but Taurus is stronger because why? Because it is a fixed sign. Other two are not fixed signs. Only fixed signs has the ability to retain and give back. So Taurus has the potential to hold our karma and give back to us. So without having good karma from the past, we cannot reap the result. Taurus is the storage house of karma. That is, whatever you sow, you can reap, because it is an earthy sign. Only earth can give back whatever we throw. So whatever the earthy sign, whatever you sow in the earthy sign, it gives back to us. And contribution. The contribution is one of the important virtue we should have, contribution to the society, for people. That is very, very important. I know Dr. Tyagarajan will be sharing about that, about sharing and contribution. So that is why Taurus becomes very, very important sign for us to bestow wealth. And even if you see, Akshaya Tritiya happens only when moon transits in the sign Taurus, in the star Rohini. These things emphasize that Taurus has the potential to give wealth. Along with the birth chart, you may have any house as your second house, but whatever house the Taurus represents, that act you should do to accumulate good karma. That is very, very important. And when you see, the Taurus has the symbol as bull. Bull, as you all know, it's a very hardworking animal. It also has determination and confidence. You need really these qualities to achieve money. That is why Taurus has been assigned to bull as a symbol. And earthy sign, being an earthy sign, it is very, very important to retain the wealth. And one more attribute for Taurus is Artha Trikona, that is the material triangle. It comes as the first material triangle. The Taurus comes as the first material triangle. We all know, no, the Purusharthas, that is the goals, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Taurus is assigned with Artha Trikona, the material triangle. This makes the sign even more stronger to fulfill our Artha and wealth. And in astrology, it's a very beautiful science or whatever. Our seers are very intelligent, All the houses in astrology has opposite house. For example, the first house talks about the self, ourself. The seventh house talks about the opposite person. When you smile at one person, he will smile back to you. Or when you become angry or frown, he will reciprocate the same way. Same way, all the houses has opposite house. The second house, how the second house has wealth, the eighth house has creditor. So if you mishandle money or if you don't value money, you will meet the creditors. You will trigger the eighth house as creditors. And if you eat wrong food, you will trigger the longevity and permanent illness which comes from eighth house. So it is very important which side of the second house we trigger. We should value money. We should value money. We should value family. That is why these significations are kept in the same sign. So if you eat good food, your longevity is taken care. If you use good words, your image is not tarnished. Because if you Vakasthan is very important, because when you say something or promise something, you're not able to keep up your promise, your image is tarnished. That is coming from the eighth house. So we should be very careful which side of the house we are triggering. All the houses, all the planets has both positive and negative. It is we who have to see which side of the house we are invoking or initiating. If you invoke the right side, you enjoy the right side of the opposite house. Otherwise, it's going to be a difficult thing. So remember to have a good family life, good work, that words you use should be very, very good. And you should respect money. These are the main things which is indicated in astrology to sustain and grow your wealth. So this is what is from my side, Dharani. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Okay. That was a really wonderful and beautiful, insightful information, Vijay Lakshmi. And as questions are coming in, actually, I have a couple of questions in hand right now. And let me just quickly wait for others also to come in. So let's start with the first question. So it's coming from Meera Iyer. So what are the ways through which one can have non-depleting or sustained wealth throughout life? So that is her question. It's from Meera Iyer. So I'll repeat again. What are the ways through which one can have non-depleting or sustained wealth throughout life?
Yes, as I told you earlier, the second house is clubbed with food, family, your words you speak. So you should always have auspicious talk, positive things, positive talking, and auspicious words should be used. There should be harmony in the family. So these things really, and chanting, and second house also indicates belief in mantras, belief in our tradition. So we should really have full faith in our divine, whichever form of God you pray to. You should really have divine connection with the divine and faith in the divine and the traditions we follow. That will really help to sustain the wealth. And of course, we will be giving a lot of tips in the end of the session. And Dr. Tyagarajan sir will also give some powerful mantras which will help them to sustain the wealth.
Okay, thank you. So another question which has come up is, please give me tips to overcome the present scenario, and I would like to grow in my job. So this is by V.K. Sushil Kumar. So he's asking tips to overcome the present crisis.
See, that's what this we have to address only seeing his personal chart, his birth chart, Dharini. So we have to analyze his chart. Then only we can come to a conclusion how to overcome, what are the dashas, what are the bhuktis, and how the transits are there for him. So many factors are to be considered. No? So for that, he can contact us, or he can write to us. We can help him on that.
Okay. So viewers, I would like to place a request here. So as Vijay Lakshmi said, better keep your questions in a very general way so that everyone is benefited with your questions and through her answers. So with that, I have another question which has come in just now. Hello, ma'am. In spite of me having good Dana Yoga, I am not able to become very rich. Why is this happening? So this is from Vinod. Hello, ma'am. In spite of me having good Dana Yoga in my chart, I am not able to become very rich. Why is this happening?
Yes, it's a good question. I do get many questions like this in my consultations. Many people ask, and many people have good knowledge about astrology, and they do ask these kind of questions. Yes, Jupiter being the Dhanakaraka is one of the important planets to bestow wealth. There are various Dhana Yogas which our sages have given. Not merely having Dhana Yoga will bring wealth. That Dasa Bhukti, that major minor period should come into existence. That is what is very, very important. Without even if you have n number of yogas, the Dhana Yoga will come out only through major minor period. And moreover, we should have a lot of Purva Punya. We should have a lot of Purva Punya to enjoy this wealth. Let me explain. We all know, we are all used to this credit card, right? We are all used to this credit card. So the credit card is given to us based on the background check criteria, like how the repaying capacity, whether anybody is you have any liability or your value. Checking all these things, they allocate. The credit card company allocates a limit accordingly and sends you the card. Even when we come down to this earth, we carry credit card called Purva Punya. Our credit card limit is based on the acts we have done in the past life. How the credit card executives helps us to understand where, when, how we can use the card, how to encash accumulated reward points, so on. Same way, a good astrologer can act as a representative and tell how much you have limit and what you should be doing to get reward points and how efficiently you should use the card. That is the Purva Punya, and how to top up the credit card. That is the Purva Punya. So Purva Punya is very, very important to deliver result. It will deliver through our planets. Of course, it will deliver through the planets. Not mere having Dhana Yoga in the chart will not make you a millionaire. I've seen many charts with exalted Jupiter, still they'll find it difficult to make their ends even. And debilitated Jupiter has given a lot of wealth. So there are so many factors involved. We cannot just say that, Dana Yoga is there, so you will become a millionaire and you have this kind of yoga, your Jupiter is exalted. We have to check thoroughly. It's a what to say, like, all the planets have to, together, they have to, holistically it has to be analyzed and tell, especially the Purva Punya plays a very, very important role. And this credit card, we have to use it very efficiently, how to come out of the stress or the karma which we are undergoing now. So Purva Punya, we should have a lot of Purva Punya in our life to enjoy everything, not only wealth, everything, even for good health, everything. We need real Purva Punya to enjoy everything. Even if you have wealth, you may not have happiness. Many millionaires go into depression in spite of they having wealth, good wealth. So we should see the fifth house, Purva Punya, how strong it is. Lagna, the ascendant, how strong it is. So that is what, even in my consultations, I tell my clients, they'll be very anxious. I have this yoga. So this is what I tell them. Check your Purva Punya and do a lot of Punya in this lifetime to sustain your wealth or improve your wealth. I hope I have answered the question. If the person has any more clarification to be given, ask him to send mail to me for the support.
Okay. So due to the time restrictions, I would like to have one more question answered. So what that says is that, will this global crisis affect me individually or personally? So please help me understand this. So this is from Yamini. So will this global crisis affect me individually? So please help me understand.
It's a very good question, because most of them ask this, they're a little bit insecure about the global crisis, and definitely I get many questions regarding this. Actually, according to Hindu Dharma Shastra, there are two types of karma: collective karma and individual karma. So we share experience karma under both the categories. The collective karma is affecting globally. So we are part of that. Of course, we are also part of that. So we cannot escape from collective karma or the individual karma. Despite the global crisis, if the planetary placements in the individual birth chart are strong, then there may not be much trouble, or the impact of collective karma will be not troublesome for them. So for that, we have to see the individual karma. It's a good question, but we will be affected through this collective karma. There is no doubt about it, but it depends. It varies from person to person and their individual birth chart. How long, how far, how strong. Those kind of things can be seen only with the individual birth charts.
Okay, thank you, Vijay Lakshmi. So that was really interesting and insightful. So our viewers, thank you for posting questions to Vijay Lakshmi. Now let's come back to our second part of the webinar, which is going to be based on the Vedic scriptures and from the Vedas itself. So we are going to hear from Dr. Tyagarajan on the scriptural teachings on the ways and means to create and accumulate wealth, scriptural recommended practices to sustain wealth, and he's also going to explain the scientific reasons behind the Vedic rituals. And finally, he will also be giving the mantra, which is really powerful, why we have to do chantings, mantra chantings. So these kind of things is going to be happening with Dr. Tyagarajan. So before we move on to Dr. Tyagarajan, I would like to just quickly recap what AstroVed has in store for you. Like when we see a lot of questions from our members right now, we see a lot of people asking about their finances, or what is the mantra for me, is there any remedies to be performed, do my houses signify such and such things. So these kind of questions we are getting from our members, and we are really happy to see that they are coming up with a lot of questions. And we want to assure you that all the questions which you have posted here will be answered by Vijay Lakshmi or the respective teams, so that you get your clear understanding of the questions which you have raised to us. And now, I would also like to just quickly give you a highlight on Astroved's year-long Wealth Protector and Multiplier program. So, if you are members of Astroved, you would have got our notification from us, and we would have informed you about this Wealth Multiplier and the Protector program. So, basically, what is this program is about? So this program is a year-long program which will help you to change your financial fortune and attract success. So as Vijay Lakshmi said, it is all based on individuals' birth chart, and it's all based on their karma. But still, there is a possibility for us, because the Vedas and the Shastras says that if we accumulate good karma, then we have a remedy, we have a way to break all the obstacles and get through what we want to achieve in your life. So all the wealth goals can be achieved despite certain obstacles can be posted due to your karma, but still there are possibilities for us, and there are ways and means recommended by scriptures and the Vedas to attain financial fortune and attract success. So basically, what is this year-long program? So how we have planned it for you? So this is basically a comprehensive program, a 12-month program, because anything which is done in a consistently and a prolonged time, it becomes a practice. So for which we have resorted to this year-long program. So we have created this program. This program will be continuously running for the entire year, and it will cover rituals which are performed weekly as well as monthly and at specific power times. So for our new members who are not familiar with Astroved, who have joined us for this webinar, I would like to quickly tell you what is the term power time means. So power time is a very auspicious time, or a very particular time period. It can be a day, or it can be even in hours. So it is a particular time period when a deity, god, goddess, or even planetary energies are available in abundant in this earth plane. So when that particular power time is active, you get the energy to connect with that any particular archetype. So what we have devised in this program is that we have handpicked certain power times, and we are going to perform throughout the year 453 rituals for you. So this Wealth Protector and Multiplier program is inclusive of 7 fire labs, which is going to invoke key wealth archetypes. So when I say wealth archetypes, as we all know, there is no rituals without Lakshmi. So it's always starts with Lakshmi, and we also have interesting wealth archetypes who will be invoked in this fire labs and during these power times. So a small and a brief introduction about this program, and in the due course of the webinar we will also learn more about the program. And don't please continue watching this webinar, as you will be getting a lot of information about this, and also you will be getting a lot of quick tips in between as well. And now let's go to Dr. Tyagarajan. So he's going to help you understand the ways and means to create and accumulate wealth, and the scriptural recommended practices to sustain wealth, and the scientific reasons behind the Vedic rituals. And finally, he will also help you understand the powers of chanting the Vedic mantras. Over to you, sir. Namaste, sir.
Namaste. Namaste to all the participants of this AstroWeb webinar. The question is that everyone has a problem, and the solutions are suggested through mantras, tantras, yantras, and you have the fire lab also. So the Vedas have already prescribed the ways and means through which one can get over the problems of any type. Now today's theme happens to be on well. Vedas suggest that a person, if he chants Sri Sukta, he gets well. The same way, if a person is not interested or rather does not know Vedas, he can go in for certain slokas, just like Kanakdara Stotra and other stotras. Some persons resort to mantras. There are certain key mantras. When contemplated upon it, it gives you wealth. Wealth in Indian condition or Indian tradition is dhanam, dhanyam, pashum, bahuputra labam, shatasamvatsaram, dirghamayu. That means you require food. Dhanam, dhanyam, the grains means that the rice, food, anything that is intake. Dhanyam, dhanam, then there is wealth, which we are talking about as money. Dhanam, dhanyam, dhanam, pashum, we are talking about cows. So one should have cow. And the cow symbolizes Goddess Lakshmi also. Dhanyam, dhanam, pashum, bahuputra labam, one should have a lot of progeny. Shatasamvatsaram dirghamayuhu, one has to live for 100 years. Unless and until one lives for 100 years, one cannot reap out the fruit of his aspiration. That's why whenever we are doing a sankalpa, that is, our attitude is being conveyed, whether it is puja or a fire ritual, we are making a sankalpa in which we are predominantly asking for Ayur Arogya Aishwaryam, Aishwaryartam, Ayur Arogya Aishwaryartam. Pujam Garavi, anything, any ritual we are doing. So we want these three important things. Ayuhu, that is life. Arogyam, you should have good health. And then Aishwaryam, wealth. With these, one can have a peaceful and pleasant life. There is a saying, Arogyam Bhaskarad Ichayet, Shriyam Ichet Kudashana. Then Yanam Ichet Maheshwarat, Mocham Ichet Janardhanat. So that means if you want health, you should pray to Sun God. If you want wealth, the Vedas say that you should pray to God's Agni. So something which generally people may not think, because they are always thinking about Lakshmi, then it is Mahalakshmi or something. So you have to pray to the goddess. In Indian tradition, we have got different, all gods are capable of giving wealth. But at the same time, specifically, the wealth which we are now talking about as artha, or the day-to-day for money used for day-to-day transaction, is to be aspired from either from Kubera or from Mahalakshmi or Lakshmi, Dhanalakshmi. That's why Dhanalakshmi, Dhanyalakshmi, Veeralakshmi, Dhairyalakshmi, these are the Attalakshmis we are talking about. Now, when you are praying, the prayer brings victory, no doubt about it. But that prayer should be with full concentration, and your attitude should be a concentrated appeal to the deity, either through Agni, if it is a Homa or Havan, or if it is a mere prayer to the deity in front of a picture or an idol, then automatically your desire is fulfilled. So to get money, a person should have full faith. So a person who wants to pray, he has to have full faith. That is important. He should also have the confidence that he will definitely get it. So that type of auto suggestion should be there for him. I will get it. I will get it. You get it. That's what is being talked about nowadays in modern terms as power of attraction. So you attract it. So you are capable of doing it. Man, as a human being, has got all the facilities and powers within him. The thing is that he has to activate properly the powers in him, then he will definitely get it. And I could hear certain questions posed to Mrs. Vijayalakshmi with regard to the how to sustain wealth, how to get wealth or get over the present crisis and all. See, for all these things, when science is not able to answer, the spirituality answers you. So science ends and spirituality starts there. So if you are praying, definitely you get it. So for which you'll have to have faith. That is what I want to stress again and again. There are ways and means through which a person can earn money. But to sustain the wealth, one has to properly, in proper manner, has to accumulate wealth. The accumulation will not come on its own accord. Of course, there is a saying, Bhavitavyam bhavatyeva narikela palam. Anything that has to come to you, that will come definitely, just like the water within the coconut shell. We do not know how it came, through which tube it has come there. But after some time, when you break it, you are able to see the water inside. Like that, if the money has to come to you, it will definitely come to you. See, astrologically, people say that it is because of your karma or because of your purvajanma punya. Sometimes something happens. Of course, it happens. But a person with faith in God definitely alter the situation, because the power of the vibration created through the mantras would definitely make a successful attempt of a prayer. So when a person is praying, appealing his request for wealth through Agni in Fire Lab, the fire distributes his appeal, or his thought waves are being transmitted to spectrum waves, then it spreads, and a person who wants to give money as a gift to some person, just thinking for a person, a deserving person, then naturally a sort of connection is being created by Agni. So the poor gets the money from the rich. So the distance and the time is not the problem there. So that is what is being done in the fire rituals or in chanting of the mantras. So only thing is that you have to be very sincere about it. And not only that, when a mantra is being chanted, you have to chant several times in order to give full power to the vibration. So it is within you, and you create the vibration, and that vibration just gives you the great success. That is what our ancestors, rishis, seers, they have already stated. So we must be faith. We must be having faith. One. the Omkara. Oh. So, which is considered to be the Shabda Brahman. So, that Shabda Brahman creates a sort of connection between the person who prays and the person, the nature of, or rather the aspiration of a person also. Now, when a particular mantra is chosen for chanting upon Goddess Lakshmi, you'll have to chant 100 times, 1,000 times, sometimes even lakh of times. So, it depends upon how the potency, or rather the power generated within the vibration by you. It is certain that one can definitely get the wealth as he gets it. The thing is that when wealth is got, you must be able to preserve it properly. That is sustaining of wealth. How to preserve it? There are only 3 ways of the wealth being distributed. Danam, Bogo, Nashaha. Tishro Gatayo Bhavanti Vittasya. Yona Dadati, Yahana Bhunte, Tasya Tritiya Gatir Bhavati. That is the verse. What does it mean? You have to give gift, Danam. Boga, you have to enjoy that. Then, Danam, Bogo, Nashaha. If you are not doing these 2 things, then automatically it will get lost. Therefore, you have to preserve it in a way that it should be useful to others. At the same time, you should also enjoy that. That's why in Ishavasya Upanishad, Yajnavalkya Maharishi says, Kurvanneveha karmani jijivishet satam samaha. And then you have to enjoy. You have to enjoy the wealth also there. Then he says, how to create wealth? That's what, not only chanting the mantras. Kurvanneveha karmani. You have to do some effort. At least a person has to get a lottery ticket through which Lakshmi can descend without doing anything. If you are simply chanting, then you are duping yourself. Therefore, have faith in God and then chant the mantra. And if you are having the facility to perform the yajna, do the yajna. And if you have full faith, and if you can follow the rules and regulations prescribed for doing a puja, you can have a yantra of Mahalakshmi at home and daily do puja, and you will feel the happiness. Not only wealth is not merely giving you the power of transaction, but also happiness, everything for a person. So without wealth, nothing can move in this world. That's what Chanakya says, that dharmasya moolam attaha. Even if you want to be righteous, even if you want to do something good to others, to the society, to yourself, to the family, then you should have wealth. Only then people will also give you respect. So money is very, very important, and that could be secured through prayers or performing pujas and everything, as I told you, with full faith, and the vibration created will definitely fetch you. And it is a great science, I would say, that the power of vibration has to be discussed at length so that people will know that it has a science behind it. It's not merely Shastra. Shastra means science, but yet there is a technology behind it while you are performing the puja and also the ritual, fire rituals and all. And if somebody has some doubt on this, they can ask.
Thank you very much, sir. It was really an enlightening and informative session. And I have now viewers. So I have already got 2 questions from 2 viewers. So you can also start asking questions to Dr. Tyagarajan, and we will ask very common questions here, and personal questions can be avoided. Sir, the first question, actually two members have asked a similar question, so I'm going to combine those two questions, and I'm going to ask to you, sir. So what mantra we can chant to overcome our financial problems, and is there what are the ways in which I can prosper in my business? So this question has come from Sushila as well as Ranjit. So both of them have asked a similar question. So what are the mantra we can chant to overcome financial problems, and what are the mantra we can chant to grow my business? So that this is a question from both of our viewers, sir.
Goddess Lakshmi is always very strict about the discipline. See, she favors only the persons with the right attitude. Because she is not willing to get herself attached to a person who is a spendthrift, or a person who does not spend the money for good purpose. So, as a business person, he has to be very sincere in his business. And though any type of business is profit oriented, but yet that should be within limitations. It should not be something based on greediness. That is one. And you should always keep your premises very clean, fully perfumed, and you should feel that Lakshmi is residing with you. And at the same time, you should also feel that whenever you are discussing with others, whenever you are having some sort of dialogue with other business partners or business people, then you should think that you are representing Lakshmi. Naturally, this will give the attraction. Lakshmi means attraction. She is free. So, if you are to get it, then you should follow these principles. So, you should get money and distribute it properly. And your prayer should be, I want to distribute it properly, therefore I want money. So, then the goddess definitely will okay your demand. And depending upon your ambition, depending upon your project, I can tell you in the modern terms, she will definitely give you a good aid for your aspiration.
Thank you, sir. And we have one more question which has come in just now. Namaste. Does debt I accumulated in my current life stem from my decisions made in my past life? So this has come from Kelly Jackson. Namaste. Does debt I accumulated in my previous life stem from my decisions in my past life? This is to you, sir.
That is also there. The past life has an impact in our present life. And we should be very careful to deal with that. If it is adversary, then we will have to live with that and then spend it. If it is prosperity, then you will have to enjoy that, thinking that that is something without knowing what I have done in the earlier birth, past life, something I am enjoying. At the same time, it is not only past life, the present life also has an impact on that. See, we call it as Prarabdha Karma, Sanchita Karma, and Agami Karma. So, Prarabdha has already started. It is an arrow that has been already left out. You can't stop that. You'll have to undergo, experience that. Then the second one, Sanchita Karma, that you are doing now. But if you have faith in Prarabdha Karma, definitely you will do good things in the Sanchita Karma. Then the Agami Karma is set right on its own way, but yet you are also responsible for creating the karma for the future. So this karma will be a balance for the next birth, and thus the chain of karma goes on. So the impact of past karma, past birth is always there, and if at all we are enjoying something, it may be due to that also, and also by the present effort also.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, Jackson, I hope this would have answered your question. And there is one more question which has come in, sir. It's from Rahul Rivari. What percentage of money should be given away for well-being of masses as per Vedic text? So, what percentage of wealth of money should be given away for well-being of masses as per Vedic text? So, he wants to know what percentage of wealth he has to give away to get the wealth.
Generally, the Vedic masters do not ask for any fee, but the instruction is given only to the student. Prajatantum ma vyavachesihi. What is actually to be assured to the teacher is Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, Swadhyaya Anma Pramadaha. That is the Vedic injunction. You should speak the truth and then perform dharma. And Prajatantum Mavyavaschesi. You should not cut away from, rather get cut the relationship of the teacher. So you must be always with the teacher. But the practice in those days and during the Dharma Shastra days was that whatever you earn as a brahmachari, it should be given to the teacher. The teacher, whatever he gives it, you will have to take it. Naturally, the teacher does not, because he is not at wealth. So, he will give the share of the money to the disciple. So, depends upon that. And same time, one has to keep the money for his need, and anything above that should be given to the teacher. Or if he has some more ways to distribute it for others, for poor, for others, he can do that also. But to have the thankfulness to the teacher, whatever he with the heart gives is pleasant for the teacher.
So there is no percentage as such defined. So it's like he can give how much ever he wants to donate. So
whenever you are talking about percentage, this becomes more commercial. Now we are talking in commercial terms, but the teacher that taught in Vedic days did not talk on commercial terms.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. So with that, I think due to the time constraint, we can put an end to the questions. And our viewers, please keep posting the questions, and we will try to get back to you with the answers via email. And now, as I was explaining to you about the program, so let's just see what are the archetypes which we were discussing earlier. So as I said, Lakshmi. So without Lakshmi, and as Dr. Tyagarajan even said, without Sri Suktam chanting, nothing is fulfilled when it comes to Lakshmi, because Lakshmi is wealth, wealth is Lakshmi. So she's the embodiment of good luck, wealth, fortune, success, abundance, and auspiciousness. So without Lakshmi, there is no wealth. So we invoke her first in the program as a first fire lab, followed by Kubera. Again, as you all know, he is the banker of heaven, and he's the protector, guardian of wealth and material riches. So he's also been entrusted with this responsibility of safeguarding Earth's treasure. So that is Kubera for you. And for Kubera, what Astroved is going to do is Kubera Pasapata Homa. So that fire lab is going to help you connect with Kubera. So why you should connect with Kubera? So we invoke Lakshmi. So Lakshmi will give you the wealth, and Kubera will help you protect and safeguard your wealth. And after which we are going to go to a very important archetype, which is Swarna Akarshana Bhairava. So, as the name suggests, he is called as gold attracting Bhairava. So, this form of Bhairava has Akshaya Patra. So, as we have successfully completed Akshaya Tritiya rituals yesterday, I would like to just use the term Akshaya Patra here, because Akshaya Patra again is a bowl which never goes out of food or prosperous things which you ask for. So it's a very auspicious bowl, and this gold attracting Bhairava, Swarna Akarshana Bhairava, has that Akshay Patra in his hands, and scriptures say that he can grant enormous amount of wealth to his devotees who is very conscious about what they want to achieve and who connects with him in that way. And he also destroys misfortune. So for invoking Swarna Akarshana Bhairava, we have that fire lab specifically as the third fire lab in this program for bringing financial stability. So first you invoke wealth, then you protect that wealth with prosperity, and also you sustain and bring stability to the wealth. Then we also have other archetypes which are really powerful, and they are Padmanabha Swami, Kartavirya Arjuna, and finally the Swarna Varahi. So if you are being a followers of Ashtaved and you are being a members of Ashtaved, then you would all know that Ashtaved has patronized all these archetypes, and we have invoked these archetypes in various fire labs and various events, special events. And this Padmanabha Swami, so as you all know, he's the richest god in the world right now. So that temple has a lot of wealth, and he's this form of Vishnu is very particular, because he the name Padmanabha means the one with the lotus in his navel. So the lotus flower from his navel is where Brahma, the creator archetype, resides. So this archetype is can be portrayed as lying on the cosmic ocean of milk on the bed of seven-headed Adisesha, the divine serpent. So then, what is special about this archetype? Padmanabha Swami, as I already said, he is known for his preserving wealth, as well as he's the richest god in the world right now, and he can bless you with material riches, remove obstacles in wealth creation, and attain success. So this is not what I'm saying. The scriptures are saying that this archetype connecting with this Padmanabha Swami can help you with spiritual as well as material gains. Then coming to Kartavirya Arjuna. So Kartavirya Arjuna is the disciple of Dattatreya. So as you all know, Dattatreya is the embodiment of the Trinity, Hindu Trinity, that is Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu, the preserver, creator, and the solution archetype. So he was a disciple of Dattatreya. So that's what the scripture says about Kartavirya Arjuna. And there is also mythology that says he's an incarnation of Sudarshana Chakra. Sudarshana Chakra is again the divine weapon of Vishnu, and that's the reason he's been portrayed with thousands of hands. So as the chakra has those many serrated edges, so this person, this archetype has 1,000 hands, and he's portrayed as a archetype who can help you recover what you have lost. So wealth is something which you need to create, which you need to sustain, and which you need to build, and which you also need to recover if something is lost. So this archetype, Kartavirya Arjuna, as per scriptures, can give you inexhaustible wealth and a strong command over people. So, and he can also help you reclaim what is taken away from you illegally. So it's like if you have been forced and you have been taken out of something wealth from you, so you can, the connecting with this archetype can help you regain what is lost. And he also helps you recover precious things if you have lost your valuables, and you can sincerely meditate upon him and you can get it for you. And finally, Swarna Varahi. As you all know, you would have followed Astrovid, we have a special program for Varahi, and this Varahi archetype is a performer goddess. So you can call her who is very fast, who can act on your request on a very timely basis. So she's really a very friendly archetype who has a face of a wild boar, and she's the feminine energy of the Varaha avatar of Vishnu. So this archetype is named as Swarna Varahi. Swarna means gold. So this Varahi can help you transform your material life. So whenever you have the wealth, you create, sustain, and enjoy the wealth. If you spread the wealth to others, you transform others' life, and she also helps you get more wealth to transform. So that is the kind of archetype she is. And with this, we have covered all the archetypes in the Fire Lab, in the Wealth Protector and Multiplier program. Also, this program has 8 types of pujas, that is Kerala type rituals. So these type of rituals are specifically performed only in that region, which few name are the Muttarukal. Muttarukal is the term which the Kerala type of traditions they use for removing obstacles. So Muttu, the term Muttu means obstacles, Arukal is to remove. So the term Muttarukal means that removing obstacles. So what are the obstacles you're facing in accumulating or moving towards your goal of wealth creation? So those kind of obstacles can be removed. So that is the traditional practice in the Kerala style ritual. So these are a few things which I want to recap. And then we also have Pushpanjali, the flower offerings. So flower offering, it's like literally covering the deity with the flowers, and they'll be chanting mantras which can really invoke those archetypes and help you also connect with that archetype on that particular power time. And apart from this, we also have chantings. As Dr. Tyagarajan said, chanting the mantra has a specific power because it's really proven science from Vedic seers and rishis that when you chant a mantra, the sound vibrations which is created during the chanting will help you focus and help you move towards the goal of wealth accumulation. So there are 4 types of chanting. That includes Kanakadara chanting and as well as Bhagya Suktam chanting. So as these are the chantings from the Vedas itself. So these are primordial mantras which we don't know of the roots because it is really from the Vedas. It is prehistoric and it's ancient wisdom. And also, apart from the rituals, we also have donations because whatever it is not just we accumulating everything for us. We also have to give it to others. So that's the reason we also have food donations and food feeding, which are prescribed in scriptures as a ways to multiply your wealth. It is not just keeping to yourself, accumulating wealth and enjoying wealth. If you distribute wealth, it's going to come back to you in a multiplied way. So that's the reason we also have included food donation and feeding. So with this, we have 7 types of homas, 8 types of pujas, 4 types of chanting, and 3 types of Pushpanjali, the flower offerings, and 2 types of divine animal pujas. As you all know, the divine animal, Gaja and Kamadhenu. As Dr. Tyagarajan said, Kamadhenu is a personification of Lakshmi. And it is scripturally said that it encompasses all the gods and goddesses, the divine beings inside it. So if you pray to Kamadhenu, it's like you're literally praying to all the god and goddesses in the celestial universe. So this is basically an outline of this program. And please don't forget that when you enroll for this program by April 30th, you also receive 160 wealth manifestation pujas as a bonus. So this bonus also has been specially designed by us for you to help manifest the wealth. So this will start from Ekadasi day, very auspicious day, the 11th waxing moon, the moon energy which contains material and spiritual growth energy. So this bonus pujas will be starting on the Ekadasi day. So don't forget to register by April 30th, and you will be receiving 160 special preparatory bonus pujas. And also you will get 15% discount on enhanced and elite packages of the program. So this is all about the program. Now coming back to the webinar, we have come to the last session. That is a very informative session. You are going to get one mantra which you can practice daily to enjoy wealth and sustain wealth, and you're going to also get at home practices from Vijay Lakshmi, which you can do on a daily basis to boost your wealth and create more wealth. So now let's first go to Vijay Lakshmi, and she'll be helping us with at home practices that you need to follow from today to enjoy, sustain good wealth.
Yes. So we all know that Lakshmi loves lotus. More than lotus, she loves pomegranate. Pomegranate seed. Doing archana with pomegranate seed will bring quick result. So while doing a pomegranate seed, Ashtotram, whatever mantra for Lakshmi, you can chant mantra and put the seed. She'll be very, very happy. She loves pomegranate seed. You can use Jupiter Hora, Venus Hora, or waxing moon Hora to perform puja to Lakshmi. That is one thing. And keep pinch of Pachakalpuram, that is edible camphor, no? Edible camphor. The pinch of edible camphor in in the altar and in your cash box or whatever, wherever you keep your cash, you keep Pachakalpuram, that is edible camphor. So it will evaporate. So after that, replace that. After it gets evaporated, replace pinch of Pachakalpuram, edible camphor in your altar. That will bring prosperity, and it also has the capacity to remove all the negative vibrations at home. So thirdly, buying salt and palak on Fridays are very important remedy, I would suggest. No? It will increase the prosperity and help to sustain the wealth. And use auspicious words. Speak positive, auspicious words. Do not gossip or talk ill about others. Why? Because the mantra chanting will get positive energies. When you talk positive, even the mantra chanting will help you to manifest. When you talk inauspicious word and keep chanting mantras, it is not going to work out. Always talk positive words or auspicious words, and especially don't talk ill about others if you really want to attract wealth. Because wealth, finance, vakasthanam, family, food, everything comes in the second house. So we should be very strict in using our words, using our food, even wasting food, water. That will also not help you to retain your wealth. So do not waste water or food. That is very, very important. And clean the clutters at home. We accumulate a lot of things which is not required at all. So many things we accumulate. We don't use it for many years. So at least 6 months once, throw all the things which you are not using and don't buy anything you are using. Spend prudently. Spend money prudently. That is very, very important. So doing charity, as Tyagarajan sir told, it is very, very important. So there is no restriction, this much amount, this much percentage, no. Whatever is possible, whichever comes from your heart, do charity. Because we all know that, many of them have asked me, I want to become a millionaire so that I can do charity. That is a very good attitude, right? I don't have any doubt about that. But if Mother Teresa was waiting for her to become a millionaire, and no, by now I think she would not have met her vision. So don't wait for the opportunity. Start doing charity. Money will follow you. And that we all know that Adi Shankara chanted Kanakadara and the rain of gold flow. No, it dropped from the uh, poor lady's hut. But we don't remember, we forget that why, in spite of her poverty, she shared, no, in spite of her poverty, she shared something with Adi Shankar. That is why that miracle happened. So sharing, contribution is very, very important. The more we share, the more we get. So that is an important tip. And showing gratitude to money. We all waste money. You know, we break everything. If we get angry, we throw the remote. The first thing we throw is our remote and our mobile phone. That is also insulting Lakshmi, kind of, because you buy through your money. You buy your mobile phone or whatever, you know, whatever you break in your anger, you buy through money. So that is also one way of disrespecting. So we should value money. We should value money. And of course, family is very important. Without family, there is no point in having money. So set right your relationship with the family. That is very, very important. And as Tyagarajan said, told, intent, effort, and grace. These three should go together. Then only we will see success. So you should really have intent to make money. Today we should, you know, today just thinking about money, and tomorrow our thoughts will change. We will not have that intention. Somewhere when we have that pinch, then we'll think, oh, we should have money. But you should have real intention. That intention should be there, and efforts you have to put towards. As Tyagarajan said, told, even if you want to get lottery, money through lottery ticket, you have to go and buy it. That's the effort. So intent plus effort and grace. Without His mercy, we cannot see success. So these three are very, very important. So do all these things. I assure you, when you do all these things, you will see good result. You will see abundance in your life. Let there be abundance in your life. Let there be abundance in the lives of your loved ones.
Thank you,
I
Vijay
pray to
Lakshmi.
the Almighty. Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Vijay Lakshmi. And coming to Dr. Tyagarajan, sir, we request you to just share with us one simple mantra which our members can chant starting from today, or you also let us know when to chant on daily basis, and you can give us the mantra.
The mantra should be given some sincere approach, in the sense that one has to be manasa, vacha, karmana, pure. That means by mind it should be pure. While he is speaking, he must be speaking very good words. And then while he is doing action, it should be good actions. And of course, these things had been already nicely talked about by Vijay Lakshmi. Now, like when Lakshmi is pleased, she gave an idea that she will give the rain of gold, raining of gold. That is, she will always give you anything when she is pleased. This money, rather the gold, is more ancient. Hema Bijam, Bhavashoho, Ananta Punya Phaladam. So it gives everything. We are now invoking the blessings of the deities in the Vedas, where this Hema is a word, gold is being talked about. All right. So these are all things that one has to get for prosperity, further prosperity, and to invoke Goddess Lakshmi or Kubera or any money giving god for that matter, or person retrieving money, just like Dharini was talking about Kartaviri Arjuna. So you can get back the money when it is chanted. So even if it is lost. So I am just suggesting a mantra Because many of you may not be able to fully chant the mantra, but I can suggest a simple phrase also. Om Mahalakshmi Namaha. This is enough. But as I told you, the intention is that I want money. I want money. Otherwise, Om Dhanalakshmi Namaha. You can say. How many times you will have to say? Minimum 108 times in the morning, 108 times in the evening. If you are still having more faith on the vibrations, on the Bijakshara mantras, the Mahalakshmi mantra is actually practiced by so many. Even while you are performing the fire lab, this mantra is being chanted. Om Shreem Hreem Aim Mahalakshmi Kamaladharinyai Simhavahinyai Swaha. This is the mantra. If a person with all his sincerity chants this with all the purity of mind, body, and sense, then naturally he will get it. It is assured. There is no doubt about it. So practice it, enjoy it, and be a wealthy person in all aspects. Live a long life to enjoy this wealth and prosperity.
Thank you so much, sir. And viewers, with this, we have come to the end of the webinar. And this is the first in the series of webinars that Astrowed has planned for you. So please do follow us in social media platforms and become a member of Astrowed. It's just the registration is free, so you can just register with us and you will start receiving communication from us, and that will help you understand the valuable guidance what Vedas have in store for you. So we have planned for a series of YouTube videos and Facebook posts, and we will also keep you updated about the future webinar. So please do follow us in all social media platforms and also do become a member of Astrowed family, and we will all grow together. So thank you so much for your time and participating in this webinar. May God shower his choicest blessings to all of you. Thank you so much for participating.